Alright guys, prep is finally all done. This is how it looks. What's up guys? Finally back on the cut. Something on the camera? Alright. What's up guys? Back on the cut. So I did some grocery shopping. Just got back right now. It's Sunday. I'm also going to meal prep today. So I'm going to show you what I got. Just some stuff I need. Some paper plates, dryer sheets, trash bags. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. Alright, so got some vegetables here. These are not frozen. These are actually fresh. Broccoli and cauliflower. 2 bags of these. These are real easy. You just pop in the microwave and you're done. So this is good for 4 servings, 2 servings. So I'll have half a bag each serving. So let's get 4 servings. Potato wise or carb wise, we have some steak fries, and these are the lowest fat frozen fries you can buy. 18 grams of carbs, 2 grams of protein per serving. So these will go well with either chicken or some type of beef. Okay, so what else? Okay, so I bought this iceberg lettuce, and I mix this with beta spinach to have my salads with. I got some more peanut butter. This is just the regular Jif natural. Oh, this is crunchy. Crunchy peanut butter. Whoops. Usually I get creamy. I have some egg makers, which is basically just egg whites, and macros on these, 25 calories per serving, 1 carb, 5 grams of protein. So what I'm going to do is mix this along with some regular eggs, right, for flavoring. And also this has, I can use the yolk in here for fat, added fat to whenever I have that. More protein wise, we have some grilled chicken already, and this is actually the same thing, it's just frozen. So just again, for convenience, this package and this package should probably last me 5 to 7 days, I'm guessing. So about a week. That's how I usually shop. Is at least for a week or so, maybe a week to 2 weeks. So I think this all right here is gonna last about a week. And some ground turkey breads. This is real lean, 99% lean, 1% fat. Macros on this is 4 ounces, 120 calories. For 4 ounces, which is a serving, 120 calories, 1.5 grams of fat, 0 carbs, 26 grams of protein, really protein dense. As far as this frozen chicken, 1 serving is 3 ounces, total fat 2.5, 1 carb, and 19 grams of protein. I believe I read this before. Chicken breasts, 3 ounces. This has 2 grams of fat, 1 carb, 19 grams of protein. So I also got some water, some coffee, Newman's Own. And Walmart had these bars on clearance, $1.50, these Mission 1 bars by Muscle Tech. Macros on these is pretty friendly. 8 grams of fat, 21 carbs, but 17 grams of fiber. So you're looking at essentially about 4 net carbs. 1 gram of sugar, 21 grams of protein. So high protein, pretty much low carb, and give it a try. So I got some water back there. So basically I'm gonna put this all away, start prepping, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright guys? What's up guys? I'm gonna start my prep for the week, meal prep that is. So I finalized all my macro plans. So basically what we're looking at, starting off tomorrow, today's Sunday, I'm gonna start tomorrow, which would be June 27th, Monday. Starting tomorrow, my macros for week 1, 230 carbs, 160 grams of protein, 70 grams of fat, with a total calorie count of 2,190 or 2,200 calories to start off. So what I do is, my current body weight is 172. I did gain some extra weight from doing the program, the Strongless 5x5 program. Not surprised by it, since that program is made to get you stronger, and then second, to build muscle mass. So I'm not too concerned. My waist is still around the same, so using that metric, or just eyeballing too what I look like in the mirror, I don't think I gained really that much fat. If I did, it's real minimum. A lot of it is more muscle mass I did gain, so not too bad. So anyways, the plan is start with these macros, and then my goal is to lose half a pound to a pound each week. Now if I lose a pound, okay, typically what I do is I stay in that same macro plan for the second week. Alright, if I lose half a pound, depending on how I feel, I may go on to my next week of macro count, or I'll stick with that week. Alright, so first 4 weeks, no cheating, meaning I'm not going to have a cheat meal for a month. So my last meal tonight, it's going to be a Pollo Loco. I'll show you what that looks like when I have it all set up and ready. Anyways guys, I'm going to get started. So since my chicken's already pre-cooked, all that needs to happen with that is microwave it, put it on the skillet for a little bit, and you're good to go. However, rice, I have my rice cooker here, so I'm going to make 4 servings of rice. Okay, and because the reason why I gotta make 4 servings, well, let me backtrack. So this rice cooker, you need at least a minimum of dry rice, 1 cup. So with that expands to the 4 cups. Okay, which therefore goes into 4 servings. All right. So what I like to do with this is, since my carbs, we're starting at 230, which isn't too bad considering the fact that it's not too bad considering the fact that I was carb cycling, meaning my high carb day was 200, my low carb day is 100. So I'm having 30 grams more carbs. So it's actually tomorrow I imagine I should have a boost of energy. I'm still working on my fitness routine, or my workout split. Still working on that. I may go back to maybe a 3-day on, 1 day off, with 2 days after that. I'm not sure. I'm still working on it. So anyways, I'm going to bring the camera over here and show you guys. So the way I do this is basically, I think I've shown this before in another video, but take our rice here. You know, it's not exact, doesn't have to be exactly 1 cup, but pretty close. So if you guys can see that, pretty much close. It goes in here, like that. Pulls this up. Now, how much water? So, the trick with the water is, the more water you put in, the more volume of rice it's going to have, the more it's going to keep you full. So since my carbs are fairly, I want to say high, I'm going to put just 1.5 cups of water in here. And then as the carbs start to drop each week, I'll start increasing how much water I cook the rice with to increase volume. Do 1.5 cups. You could put salt in here. I don't. I'm going to start reducing my sodium as well, or not so much track it precisely, but I'm just going to, you know, keep it, not use salt really that much. Alright, let's put this on here. Nice. That cooks. So the good thing about that is, set it and forget it, and then what I'll do is after it's done, I'll take the whole thing out, weigh it out, see how much it weighs, divide it by 4, and then I have my serving size. Alright? Okay, on to the next one. Alright, so basically with the rice, I'm going to have the chicken with it as 1 meal for you know, each day for the next 4 or 5 days. And then in the morning, I'll have my eggs along with oatmeal, a nice good complex carb. However, my other meal, big major meal I should say, is going to be the lean ground turkey breast. Alright, along with the steak fries. So reason why the steak fries and not red potatoes, well, the steak fries add a little bit of fat to it. You know, they have about 2 to 3 grams per serving. This is very lean, so I want to have some fat with this. I mean, 1 serving of this is only 1.5 grams of fat, so about 2 grams of fat, which is nothing. So combine this with the steak fries, 2 servings probably. You're looking at only, you know, 7-8 grams of fat. That's it, and pretty good carbs as well. So I've got my skillet that's heating up. I'll cook this. Simple seasoning, guys. Nothing too complex. Again, I'm not going to use any salt. I have this Mrs. Dash's garlic and herb. Alright, and this goes well to a chicken, but I'm going to use it for the ground chicken breast. All right, and as of right now, I don't have any red meat involved in my prep. It's not for a purpose. I just, for this week, I'm going to focus on having the ground chicken breast, the chicken, and the eggs as my main source of protein. Maybe the following week I'll change it up, and that's just to keep everything, not keep everything, but to keep everything interesting and different taste change. So, for example, I'm looking forward to next week already. I'm thinking incorporating pasta along with some lean ground beef with that. So, anyways, that's next week. So I'm gonna let this warm up. Put this on there, cook it for a while. I'm sort of rushing here because I'm about half hour to 40 minutes. The last episode of Game of Thrones comes out for this season, and plus there's Veep after that and Silicon Valley after that. So full, like 2 hours. I think actually Game of Thrones is actually an hour and a half to 9 days, so maybe 2.5 hours of period of time where I want to be focused on my TV, focus on the show. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna warm this up. I'll check back with you guys in a second. All right, guys, skillet is all warmed up, or pan, I should say. And basically, what I like to do is make sure you wash your hands. Is just go ahead and crumble these up. Now, when measuring protein out, you want to measure it or weigh it, I should say, when it's fully cooked, not beforehand, because as we all know, meat will, or protein will lose its weight as you cook it. Alright, so this is cooking. I'm actually going to turn this down a little bit because this is turkey meat, so you want to make sure it's fully cooked, just like chicken. Compared to like beef, you can have beef. You can not to cook it all the way, depending on what your choice is, how well done you want it. So this is no salt. There we go. Pretty much put on as much as you want, technically. Not worried about your macros or anything like that, so put a good amount on. And then what I do now is just cover this. Where's that? Cover that. We'll check on that in a little bit. So meanwhile, I have some fries, or I'm going to start my fries. All right. Right here. So again, I'm going to have this with my fries. Nice little clean meal, lean beef, some good potatoes. So with this though, I am going to weigh it out. So I'm going to make one serving is 3 ounces, 110 calories, 3 grams of fat, 18 carbs, 2 grams of protein. What I think I'm going to make 8 servings. Or should I do the whole bag? The whole bag is 9 servings. Contains 9 servings. If I do 8, then I can have 2 servings each day. So 2 servings, that'd be 220 calories. It'd be 36 carbs. That sounds like it should work. So I'm going to do 8 servings. So I'm going to go over here. Let me weigh this out real quick. Alright guys, so oven's still preheating. You see here, covers up the whole tray. Again, the steak fries, from what I've seen, have the least amount of fat of all the French fries you can buy, frozen fries. However, there's Alexia brand, I believe it's named Alexa or Alexia brand fries, which I can no longer find at Tucson, in regards to their low fat ones. They sell all the other ones except for that one for some reason. So anyhow, these are the best I can do. Again, you don't have to do this. You can, if you have the time, buy whole potatoes. It is much cheaper that way. It's going to take more time, obviously, but if you have the time, I suggest you do it. All right. And the chicken too. I bought for convenience. This week for me, guys, is going to be extremely busy. It's going to be pretty much busy throughout, I would say, the next 3 months. I want to say there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that are going on. I know I've been slacking on gym beef stuff. I am getting some help with that, so that's good news. So I'm just focused on this right now. You gotta focus. Sometimes you just gotta focus on yourself. And I know that's some people will call it being selfish. Well, yeah, I'm being selfish. I'm gonna focus on me right now, and get me back on. And not that I was off track. I'm gonna get back on the track of where I need to go in my head. Anyhow. I am expecting to lose. Well, let me rephrase. I'm expecting to lose weight. I would say I'm gonna get down to mid 150s. Right now, I'm 173. So before I started the Strongless program, I got down to 166. And as you're well aware, if you did watch my video when I announced the Strongless program, that everything for me at that point was just stagnant. You know, just wasn't. I wasn't pushing myself hard enough. I wasn't that motivated. Started losing motivation. So Strongless gave me a little bit of break, increased strength, increased muscle mass. So now I'm back on this, fully focused, ready to go. And you know, I'm gonna do as long as this takes. You know, I'm planning on at least 8 weeks of this, and then you know, see what I drop down to. All right. So let's cook. Let the oven preheat. Rice is cooking. When that rice is pretty much done, I'll throw the chicken in the microwave, grill it for a little bit on the pan, and then start prepping all the containers. All right. Peace. Hey guys, got my scale here. Set this up here. So it comes out to 1 pound, 1 ounces, 1.5 ounces. So we start off with 1 pound, 4 ounces. So we lost about 2.5, right? Yeah, 2.5 ounces of cook. So I think by that, I'm gonna do 4-ounce servings. So I'll do 4 ounces, and I'll see what I should have. What, 1.5 ounces left over. So I'll add a 1/5 ounce maybe to my first meal tomorrow. So I'll do that. So that's how I determine that. Real lean, and then fries are cooking. So we'll check back those in a little bit, and I'll show you again. Go back to the packaging and how everything is set up for the week. Peace. All right, guys. Rice is all done, so I'm gonna start the chicken. So Game of Thrones starts like literally in 5 minutes, so I'm gonna rush here. I washed out this pan that was cooking the turkey before. So what I'm gonna use that for, I'm gonna warm up this chicken breast. All right, this is the frozen one. I'm gonna microwave this first, throw it in there, and I'm gonna do 4 servings of 4 ounces. All right, there's 7 servings in here, so it's gonna be more than half the bag. The other fresh chicken I got that was non-frozen. This one I'm actually going to save for when I make the salads. And I'm not going to prep salads ahead of time. Those are easy enough to make already. So again, the only 2 things I'll have to make each day would be the salads, protein shakes, and my morning breakfast, which is simple. It's just going to be eggs and oats. So, I'm going to do that. Let me weigh this out real quick. Skillet's warmed. Let's check out this chicken. Still a little frozen. Throw it for another minute. I think we should be good with that. And to seasoning with that is thinking we're going to add some lemon pepper just to change it up. Alright. Lemon pepper, this goes good. Especially with the French red hot sauce I'll probably use when I eat this. So anyways, that's almost done. And rice is done. So let me toss the camera, weigh out the rice, and I'll show you how I divide those out. Alright guys, just took out the rice. You can see there, focus, 464. So I'm going to divide that by 4, which is, calculator, 116. And I do it in the grams, makes it a little easier. So that'll be 4 servings. Alright, chicken's pretty much done here. Fries still have a little bit while to go. You see that one, there's a few on top there. I'll probably have to mix some of that stuff around. Probably leave it there for another 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna put everything together in the Tupperware prep Tupperware, right? I don't know. I'm rushing Game of Thrones to start, so let me do that. I'll check back with you guys later. Peace. All right, guys, prep is finally all done. This is how it looks. Alright, so 4 servings. Steak fried potatoes, along with the lean ground turkey breast, or sorry, grounded up turkey breast. 4 servings, chicken, rice, along with the mixed veggies, or just mainly broccoli and cauliflower. So you can see here, I have 8 meals total here. And for the most part, this is 4 days. This is 4 days. And like I said, breakfast, I'll have my eggs along with some oats. That'll be meal 1. And then basically what I'm going to do is 4 major meals. I'm going to have my breakfast, which is going to be eggs and oats. This is going to be my 2nd meal, or vice versa, whatever. This would be my 3rd meal, chicken and rice. 4th meal will be a low-carb salad. Unless I happen to work out that day at night, then that may change. But as of right now, it's going to be eggs, oats in the morning, steak fries, and lean ground turkey breast. 2nd meal. 3rd major meal is going to be chicken rice along with the broccoli and cauliflower. 4th meal is going to be chicken along with some just a salad, basically. In between there, protein shake. Depending on where I'm at in carbs, I still haven't put this all into MyFitnessPal, but since I've been doing it for so long, I kind of have a good idea where I'm at. But just to be exact, you want to be exact when you do this stuff. You know, a snack would be peanut butter for 1. 2 would definitely be the protein shake, and then I have some bars. I can also have sludge, sort of as a dessert there, in case I need up my carbs. I can mix with some frozen berries with that. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm all done. Game of Thrones is on the background. I'll mute so you guys can hear me. So far, so good. I'm gonna let this cool down. Put it away. Well, just so you guys know, all good to go. I am still need to clean up all the dishes and whatnot, and I'll check back with you guys in a little bit when I, like I said, clean up a little bit, watch Game of Thrones, and I'll show you the last meal I have for tonight. All right, guys. Peace. What's up, guys? Games of Thrones just ended. Pretty good. Setting it up for the next season should be pretty massive in terms of well, okay, I'm not gonna ruin it for anyone, but anyhow, last meal of the day from a Pollo Loco. I picked this up a few hours ago, so I'm gonna enjoy it now. So let me show you what I got. All right, so we got 2 chicken breasts. Actually, yeah, 2 chicken breasts, little wing, 2 flour tortillas, some rice, and some pinto beans. All right. So this will be my last meal. This is sort of also my last cheat meal in a way, and I don't know if you guys hear it's raining, so the power keeps on flickering in and out. It keeps on turning off my TV. But anyways, so if we lose power here, we'll see what happens. Doesn't rain much here down in Tucson, but when it does, it becomes a hassle. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh, cheat meal. So this is technically my last cheat meal for the next, like I said, 4 weeks. Won't be cheating. Everything will be calculated macros. Really won't be eating out really at all. And a lot of people think that's difficult, not only from the prepping part, but also especially if you work Monday through Friday, have a typical 9 to 5, or even you work during the week, and the weekends is always the most difficult part, or whatever 2 days you may have off in the week, or 1 day if you work if you work like in the car dealership or something like that. Going to parties, all that stuff, and what I tell my clients and what I do as well is that you just gotta plan ahead. Is it difficult? Yes, it is. Bringing your own food, especially if you're going to be somewhere for an extended period of time where you need to eat. I've been doing this for over 4 years now, so I'm used to that. And people that know me, my friends, see me doing this, and they know that if I'm on a certain cut, hit my macros, I'm being real strict for that period of time. They're used to having me bring my own food. Own meal prep food container, whatever, and that only sparks conversation, not from a negative aspect, from more of people wanting to learn more about it. So for me, I enjoy doing this part of my lifestyle, and part of the reason why I tell my clients and myself as well that I don't 4 weeks I don't cheat or even have a refeed day, is for the simple fact that it makes you look forward to that cheat meal, and makes you appreciate. It's sort of a reward, you know, working, being just focused, super focused 4 weeks, and having that discipline where you're not going to cheat, you know. And I do have clients that don't make it 4 weeks, and they're very honest. They say, you know what, you know, I had like a cheeseburger or something like that, or it's usually on the weekends, you know, when they're out of sort of the normal daily routine and they're with their family, out of the party, you know, whether it's alcohol, some type of food, pizza or something like that, you know, a party birthday cake, for example, stuff like that. You know, I tell them that you have a vision in your head where you want to be. I can only provide you the path to get to where you want to be, but it's up to you and have the discipline to do it. And you know, I'm the first one to say, hey, I know it's not easy, I know it's hard, but if you want to make this lifestyle work for you, you have to be motivated somehow and do it yourself. And there's only so much I can do, you know. And I was explaining to a buddy of mine who I was training with that it's real easy to come in here and keep you motivated while we're in the gym, but outside the gym is the hardest part. I can't follow you the other 23 hours, you know, 22 hours of the day, and knock stuff out of your hands, you know, saying no, you can't eat that. And quite frankly, that really doesn't work, you know. You have to be in a certain mindset where you got to make this work because you have a vision in your head of where you want to be. Same thing too if you're bulking. That goal is in your head of where you want to be, and whether you know, you just want to gain overall size, or you just want to really just build heavy muscle and minimize, you know, your fat while you gain. You know, it takes a certain mentality, a certain self-motivation to keep you going, keep on reaching your goal. And you have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare yourself. You know, I'm going to do the cut, my reset on this cut for 8 weeks. I'm still aware that it could take longer to reach a certain goal I have in my head. I'm fully aware of that. And you know, you got to take it one step at a time. And I think that, you know, a lot of before and after pictures that you see out there online is not a matter of 20 days, 30 days. It's a matter of, you know, usually years. Sometimes it is months, but most of the time it's just years. And you wanna keep yourself motivated. And you know, a couple ways I keep myself motivated in terms of keep on going. Is, you know, I do look at those before pictures of myself, and I remember it associates with a time in my life where wasn't eating right, and I was telling this one of my buddies of mine, who I'm also coaching. I would get a lot of acid reflux, about 2 to 3 times a week, and at that point, you know, I was just a little over, you know, 30 years old. I was like, man, I don't smoke. Don't really, you know, I don't drink every day. At that time, it was more of a, you know, stress, definitely stress eating. And I would say definitely, you know, drinking had somewhat to do with it, but it mostly did with the eating, not eating healthy choices, eating out a lot, and definitely not training, you know. So I don't want to go back to that at all. So that keeps you motivated. And just trying new things and seeing how my body adjusts. And you got to try new things regardless as you get older, especially when you're living a bodybuilding lifestyle. And if you do, or if you do like athletic type of stuff, you know, your body's gonna change over time naturally, whether it's some type of decrease or whether it's getting used to something, just plateauing. You have to consistently trick the body into, you know, keep on going and keep on growing. So, anyways. I'm going to have this, and then, looks like the rain stopped. Have this, it'll be my last meal of the day, and if you guys have any questions on meal prepping, I am going to make a video on how I calculate my macros. I use a different method this time, so that'll be up soon. Also, should be a recap on the Stronger by the Day series. If it's not up, it will be up. I go over my before and after progress of the Strong List 5x5 program. So, anyways, guys, hope Hope everyone had a great weekend. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, hit the subscribe button, and I'll check back with you guys later. Peace. And this is sort of an older school. There's no, you know, like in the gym, you have the pins that you put in different weight stacks. So you actually have to stack the plates up. So what would we say about this? 40 pounds, you said? 30, 40?
It's about 30, and then you got to add the resistant weight on top of that.